All right, let's listen to...
As the leader of the NDP, you asked the question, how do we solve the immigration problem? It's very simple, you know. All it requires is will. Utah said earlier that there is no plan. Well, we have a plan. We have a 4-point plan, and we've mentioned it over and over again. We've tried to get it out in the media, and I'm happy I'm here to release that plan to you.
It's a
4-point plan, okay? First of all, you secure your borders. How do you secure your borders? There's satellite technology that can track metal boats, wooden ships in your waters. There's satellite technologies. The Argentinians are renting it from the Israelis right now. The Argentinians use it for tracking vessels in their waters who are poaching. They take a picture of the boat registry and they send it to the requisite embassy and say, listen, your boats were in our water poaching, here's the bill. Now, they don't use it for immigration. We can use it for immigration. We can rent space on Israeli satellite.
What is the cost of this?
The Argentinians pay $5 million a year, okay? $5 million a year. Now juxtapose that against how much we actually spend in education and healthcare, in repatriations of illegals, all of those things, and even in poaching, because it's a dual use technology. So the first thing you do is secure your borders using satellite technologies, infrared buoys, and a basin in Agua. You could secure your borders. Secondly, what you do is you take stock of everybody in the country. You have a national database of every person in this Bahamas, whether you're here on work permit, whether you're a permanent resident, or whether you are a Bahamian citizen. Everyone in the database. After you know everyone who's here, then you move to the third part.
Don't they do census?
You do.
Well, no, but the census does not ask you whether you're a citizen. The people in the census department will tell you that. They are just there to count bodies.
Okay.
They do not come back and say there are 50,000 Bahamians and 10,000 Haitians.
Let's let them finish the 4-point plan and then we
That's
can
the
get on
second
it.
part. We assess everyone who's, we log everyone who's here in a database. The third part of the plan is you decide out of those persons who are here, mind you, you've logged the illegals, the legals, residents, everyone. Then you decide among the populace who are here illegally, those who should stay, okay? Those who have been born here, those without status, but that ought to be done in conjunction with the Bahamian people. That ought to be a national conversation in regards to our values and our constitution. And then the fourth part of the plan, after you would have decided who should stay and you've sent those home, who should be sent home, then you look at the fourth part, which is you having a plan of where you want the Bahamas to go. In terms of technology, innovation, people, power, in terms of the types of persons that you want in your society. You look around the globe and say who you would like to invite in. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's professors for your expanded College of the Bahamas that's going to be allowing Bahamians to go there to get their bachelor's degree free of charge, whether it's persons in a particular technological industry who have some value to bear, who would want to become a part of the Bahamas and fly our flag and cry like the rest of us, forward, onward, upward together. That's what you do. So that's our 4-point plan.
All right, Calvin, you started to say?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mr. Wells, right? The United States have the greatest technology there is on the planet, between them and Russia. They can't secure their borders. So us renting a satellite still wouldn't secure the borders. You could lock up people, send them home, they'll return, right? Securing the borders, you will never be able to do that. Not in the Bahamas.
Let's separate whether you can do something from you having the conviction to actually do it. If the United States wanted to secure its borders, believe you me, my brother, where technology is today, they could shut down their borders, okay? If that is what they want. But as we all know, in this global environment, there is a push to dissolve national borders, to move us more to conglomerate states. That is what CSME was about.
Hold
that
on,
is what EPA is about.
I could be real, right? I want to stop all the fancy talk, right? But we want to know where the NDP stand. The people want to know where the NDP stand on the sale of BTC. We can get back to all this other stuff on another show.
I will go there too.
We want to know where the NDP stands.
Philosophically, the NDP believes that the Bahamas should be for Bahamians first. That's where we begin, that's where we end. We start with that philosophical principle.
But
we believe in empowering. We believe...
You believe that the Bahamians should have the best?
Always.
You believe that?
Yeah, but also too, in having the best, they should have access to everything in their country too, to own it. We believe in empowerment through ownership. So once we begin there, then we can look at BTC from the NDP's perspective, which is BTC is an asset that the Bahamian people own now. What we would want, if we are to sell any sort of shares, if we are to privatize BTC, it must be privatized to Bahamians.
If you were going to fly,
if you were going
to fly on a jet, right? Would you not want to fly on the best built jet? If you had to fly on a jet?
Of course.
Okay, so you're going to look for the best person who qualified to build that jet. Because because you deserve the best.
Of course.
So my point in all of this, I believe first and foremost, Bahamians should have the opportunity to own their own telecommunication company. But do Bahamians qualify? Qualify as in, do they have what is necessary to own their own telecommunication company and compete? With worldwide prices.
Utah, your analogy fails in this regard. Cable and wireless ain't building jet either. Okay? No. The foreigner ain't building jet either. The foreigner is buying the jet, just like the rest of us. But see, what we're saying is, we own the jet now. But what we're going to do is we're going to hire a foreigner to fly it. Understand what I'm saying? But we own the jet now, and some Bahamians are flying the jet now. But they're taking instructions from some folk, okay, as to how they should fly.
But
and what we're saying...
But let me tell you why...
Let me finish my point. And so what we're saying is, we can replace the Bahamian, and we can bring in a foreigner to fly the jet. You understand what I'm saying? And I am saying that is not necessary. That the Bahamian is flying the jet now. And what ought to happen is we ought to give other Bahamians the opportunity to fly other jets. That's what BTC is about.
Well, let me just share this with you. Here are some of the rates, right? From cable and wireless around the region, postpaid and prepaid rates. In the Bahamas, our rates are like, for postpaid, it's 23 cents. Prepaid is 30. In St. Lucia, it's 13. Prepaid is 16. In Caymans is 9 cents. In Barbados is 9 cents. In Panama is 7 cents. In Jamaica is 6 cents. And the prepaid in Jamaica is 2 cents. And in the Bahamas is 30 cents.
Wonderful. And let me ask you a question, Utah. Who determines that 30 cents?
Well, that's why we need to move it from the government. The government, right now as it stands, not even Oika. I wouldn't even go to Oika.
Utah, you know, BTC wrote to the government of the Bahamas, this current administration, and said, listen, we could lower the rates on prepaid right now to 23 cents. Not firing one Bahamian, not changing nothing in BTC. We could lower it to 23 cents today. Can we have the permission to do it? They did that a number of years ago. You know, the government said no.
Well, it is at 23 cents.
No, you said it was at 30.
Postpaid is 23.
Okay? No. We're talking about prepaid.
30,
okay?
Yeah, 30.
They wanted to lower it. The government said no. The government of this country determines what the rate is.
Because the government uses BTC as a cash cow.
Now,
the cash
So here's what I say.
So that's why it needs to be gone from the government.
But here's what I say.
Find me a group of Bahamians who qualify. Who has what it takes. Who has the needs, the necessities to run BTC.
Utah, here's what I say. Here's what I say in that regard, and I'm going to get to you in a sec. Here's what I say in that regard. Okay? The only thing that's not privatized in our telecommunications industry right now is cellular. You could get internet from other services. You could get landlines. People get the Vibe and Indigo and all these other. The only thing that's not privatized right now is cellular. It's Bahamians dealing with the Vibe, Indigo, internet service. They're doing that. Are they doing a good job at it? Yes, they're doing a good job at it. Are they getting better at it? Yes, they're getting better at it. And here's what I say.
Indigo.
And here's what I say,
some of them the majority of them internet service suck.
Yeah, but Utah,
I will never get, as much as I despise BTC, I wouldn't even have no other option.
Utah, here's what I say.
Internet service,
here's what I say. Well, a lot of people use coral waves as well, but here's what I say too. Canada showed us, we love the Canadians, you know, but they showed us the model, you know. We love them, but we don't like to always follow right thinking in regards to something. You know what the Canadians did when they were getting ready to sell their telecommunications industry? They said, we are only going to sell it to Canadians first. Let the Canadians compete. Let them buy the requisite technology. Let them perfect their craft, getting better at it as they go through. And then after a number of years, we would open up the foreign competition. And even then, And even then, we would not give a foreigner a majority stake. In Canada, a foreigner cannot own more than 46.7% of any telecommunication industry.
When will our leaders find balls and integrity and stand for the good of the people instead of malicious, hoggish, selfish gain? That is the problem. That is the problem there. Why we are hesitant and why we think it may be better to sell to a foreign-run company.
But that's easy, if I may. Utah, it's very answer. See, because Utah, you is my good friend, but you don't believe